Howdy folks, TechTexN here, bringing you Kerbal Space Program. As you have noticed, I haven't had many videos out lately, and that is because I have been sick. Yes, I've been sick for the past couple of weeks, and had totally lost my voice for a while, but I seem to have regained most of it back, and I am ready to get back in action, especially in this game. But during my sick time, I had a little time to play, and I progressed a little bit. I am currently at 720,000 funds, and I got some contracts. So I've already gone to the moon, landed on the moon. So I've actually already done the contract. So there's really no major reason for me to do this video other than to show a little bit of progress, and also to show you the differences in the atmosphere compared to before it went to 1.0, which I know it's already been several weeks, but hey, you know what? Better late than never. But right now I do have a contract to go to Minmus, which is what I really want to do. So it doesn't show me the contract to land on Minmus. I don't know why it's not available. I would love to. However, I think they had something else. Oh yes, rescue a Kerman from the orbit of the moon. So this is interesting. I thought about doing this one at some point. So yes, that's actually very it's very tempting. You get a pretty good amount of funds for it, but unfortunately no science. I mean, they showed a little science symbol, but no science gain, just reputation. Well, let's worry about the current ones that I have right now. Let's go to Minmus, and we'll take a look and see. As you can see, I've done some satellite contracts. And I noticed that the contract says that you have to build a whole new satellite, but actually I tested this. I had two orbits that were fairly close to each other, actually on the moon. And I was able to do two orbits with just one orbiter. So you can actually use the same satellite as long as the satellite meets those specifications, such as requiring a transmitter or thermometer or something along those lines, which one of those contracts in fact did. And you can see where I landed on the moon right here. That was the first landing, which I actually did not have. I almost did not have enough fuel to make it home. I barely made it because the design that I normally go with, I've preached in the past before 1.0, you know, back in the day, that the best landers are ones that are very wide, ones at which you have multiple legs. Let me show you what I took to the moon. Actually, I've modified it since then, or I was trying to at least. Okay, so the bottom half I did the usual asparagus staging, which is probably overdoing it. You really don't need that much to get to the moon, although you could see I'm taking a very big chunk to the moon. So here's kind of the reason I did all of this. First of all, whenever you have these three tanks on the side, it makes for a much, much smoother landing because you're not having to worry about your rocket tilting over to the side. Instead, it's propped up like you would on a tripod, so it really makes for a good lander. Unfortunately, after 1.0, it makes it more difficult to take off from Kerbin because of the atmosphere. So this design is not the greatest anymore, and I almost didn't have enough fuel to make it back. So this is probably not the greatest design for going to the moon, but it's the one I'm going to use. You'll also notice that I have both a command pod and the Probodobodyne probe. The reason for that is SAS. I use the probe because I need SAS. Why? Because I take the scientist, not the pilot. Why do I take the scientist? So he can reset the materials bay and the goo canisters as needed. I was going to take 3 materials bays, but that would have been way too much weight. So I reduced it and I took the scientist. Instead, I just took 1 extra probe, which when you compare the weight, compared to 3 more of these, which is a mass of 0.2 each, I only needed to take 1 of these, which is just 0.1. So that saved me a lot of space just to have the scientist come out, get the science needed, and then put it back in, so that way we can reset this guy. So I was able to take high over the moon, and then flying over moon, and then landed on the moon. So I was able to get a big chunk of science and unlocked a lot of parts. So in fact, I'll show you where I'm on the tech tree real quick, just real fast. So here we are. So this is as far as I've gotten on the tech tree as far as getting enough science points. And I do have, oh, where is it? Here we go. So I have the fuel ducts now, of course. I could do that. I now have the orange tanks, which is what I'm going to go in and maybe tweak my, I might tweak my rocket a little bit. I had the twin bore engines. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make two different moon landers with the same concept. And change the core rocketry and see which one comes out cheaper. So that's really what you want to go with, is the cheaper one for the most part. Thankfully, I have better landing legs. I've already replaced those because I originally landed with the micro. Let's see, where were the micro? Yeah, I landed with those. That was a little precarious. They're not the greatest for a lander of that size. But now I have the better ones, which... I forget. Oh, here we are. Yeah, I have the LT1 now, so I can land with those. I also have the better heat shield, so if I have to come in at a steeper angle, I could do that. But actually, you know, the original heat shield was already good enough. Where was that? I think it was under aerodynamics, was it? No. Here it is. Yeah, this one is good enough, really. I came in at a pretty scary angle, and I thought, no, I'm not going to make it, but, you know, it was no problem. I mean, the craft was light enough. If it was heavier, I'd probably have to worry. And, of course, I unlocked the seismic accelerometer. Now, one of the big differences I noticed between the older versions of Kerbal Space Program and 1.0 is actually the barometer. The barometer, you were not able to collect science from space because you were in a vacuum. But now it does allow you to do it. So you could do it high over Kerbin, low over Kerbin. You could do it on the moon, land it on the moon. And, of course, I'm going to do it on Minmus. So get plenty of these barometers now. You can get a lot of science from those. But unfortunately, for the seismic accelerometer, you still need to be on the ground, which makes sense because it's just measuring the, the seismic activity on the planet. It makes no sense to take it above. So, yes, I'm working my way to unlock more science, and as you can see, there's other parts that I tinkered with a little bit in sandbox mode, such as the fuel cells, but I doubt I'll be using fuel cells because I'm just so used to not using them, but you never know. There's also, of course, the narrowband scanner and everything for mining resources, which I'm kind of looking forward to. I don't know if they're going to have contracts for that. I really hope they do have contracts. And, of course, the gravioli detector, that'll be a lot of science points, but I'm a long way from there. It's going to take a lot of science with what I have right now to get where I need to go. And, of course, we definitely want to unlock the nuclear engines. That's going to be 300 points, and I only have 41 right now. That's probably going to be my next unlock. I don't think I want to unlock much of anything else. Sometimes these Sepatrons are pretty helpful when you get to those larger tanks that you need to separate a little bit further without bumping into everything. The aerodynamic cones are nice to have, but I already have some. Let's see, I unlocked them somewhere. Come on, where are they? I know I unlocked them. Here they are. So I do have these protective shells, which are kind of cool. I haven't really used them, but it's kind of hard to use them on this particular craft right here that we're going to take to Minmus. Okay, so I have Moonlander 1, but I'm going to change this course section here, and let's see what we could do. So we're going to call this Moonlander 2. And when I say moon, that also includes Minmus, because for the most part, a craft that you could take to moon, you could definitely take to Minmus, because Minmus is such low gravity. Oh yes, and I also have a contract to test a structural pylon on Minmus, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, where is that one? I always found that one to be interesting. Oh, and I also need science data from surface of the moon. Again, I have to get that. I'll probably use a lighter satellite since I don't need as much science. Well, no, I might send the same one. Yes, test structural pylon landed at Minmus. So I'm definitely going to be taking a structural pylon. Now, what's nice about a structural pylon is I don't think you really need anything attached to it. So let's see, how much does it cost? It's $1,000. Come on. Where can I put this guy? This is going to be odd. You know, it's only 3,000 bucks. Let's just make it even. Boom. There we go. So I could definitely test the structural pylon. Now I think I have to test it by a stage. So I'm definitely going to be testing it before I do that. So there we go. Perfect. All right. How much weight did that add? Oh man, that added a lot of weight. I don't know if I want to add 3 of those. Why did I accept that mission? All right, hold on. No. Oh, why? It's not aerodynamic, but I don't care. It's even and symmetrical. Okay, so now let's worry about what I'm going to do with larger rocketry here. So, oh, no. Come on. No. Come on, cooperate. There we go. All right, so right now, and I'm not sure if I want to use a large fuel tank for this. This probably is not the way I want to do this. Okay, so we got the mainsail, which is probably overdoing it, but I could probably get away with the skipper for the middle. All right, and what I might do, for the sakes of getting into orbit, is get a couple of these radial decouplers. I could do the twin bore engines, but that may be overdoing it. I can't tell if that's on. Nope, no. It's a little off. Alright, so what I might do is just do the usual fuel ducts and go here, put mainsails on the other 2, and fire all 3 engines. And see how that goes. Now, I have no idea how we're going to do on control. I have not unlocked the big reaction wheel. Aerodynamics. That won't work. Ah, here we go. I do have them. Alright, cool. Moonlander 2. So I'm curious how well this is going to fare. So let's get my stuff straight here. And those detach. And we keep on rocking with this. Let's see how this does. Oh, wait. I need my scientists. Yes, Bob. Bob, you're going with me. Will it make it to Minmus? Now, here's what I'm worried about, of course, is the top portion of my craft, because it does not make it the most aerodynamic. Whoa, I should have put struts. I totally forgot struts. Okay, yeah, let's just lean a little right. Come on. Oh my goodness, that is so wobbly. Don't get sick, Bob. Don't get sick. Okay, yeah, I need to throttle that down a bit. Oh no! Oh no! That's not gonna work. Okay, so yeah, that went a bit top heavy. Maybe if it didn't wobble so much, it might have been able to be stable enough. Yeah, struts. Alright, nose cone to nose cone. That's sort of the rule of thumb. Oops. It's hard to click on those things again. Oh, come on. Ah, there we go. Good. There we go. And a little structural integrity at the bottom. Wouldn't hurt. There we go. There we go. Let's try a little less wobbly. Now, I also noticed that it flipped on a different axis, too. But I don't know if that's because of it was wobbling or what. Alright, so here we go. 3, 2, 1. A lot more stable. So I'm going to throttle it down a little bit. Go ahead and start turning a little. Thankfully, I'm not going all over the place. Alright, I'm going to slow it down because at 300... Yeah, come on, come on. Not too much, not too much, oh, hello. Yeah, see, that's the problem. These big tanks, as that fuel starts going down, everything down here gets a little lighter, and this thing just wants to flip over like an arrow dart. Fine, go back down if you want to. Let's see if I can reverse, go back. Oh, look at that. I may yet do this. Oh, well, maybe not. Lights? Yeah. Everything's missing down there. Okay. So, I'm probably not going to do that. Alright, so just for the sake of fun, let's load my previous moon, not orbiter, but lander. Where are you? Lander 1, where are you? Moonlander 1, there you are. And I'll put my experimental stages on there, which could affect the amount of fuel I have when I'm done with this. Where are you? There it is. Now notice how expensive this particular ship is. Okay, why would I... There we go. So, right now this ship costs $101,000. I'll try tweaking on the other one to see if I can get that one to work better. But let's see if we can't get this one to go to Minmus. So I'm going to go ahead and... Wait, check crew. No, we don't want Jeb. We need the scientist. So I can reset that science. Alright, let's launch. I mean, I'm not worried. With the contracts, I'm going to get well over 200,000, so I'm going to have plenty of money. Okay, SAS. What am I forgetting? I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh! Launch we go. Oh, yes, struts. I was going to put some struts on here. Oh, well. So watching the first two go out. Exploded in the sky. That'll make you nervous. So I'm not getting very much speed with this ship, but it still got the job done the first time. Without getting it spinning. There we go. Gonna rotate this now. I think we're at a slightly better altitude. let's go ahead and get prepped here. Now, once I get down to this last rocket, it struggles. But that's what I got these solid fuel boosters here for. Yeah, notice I'm not even building up speed at this point. At this point, I'm just hoping to stay up. But I am gaining out some altitude, so there is that. So it seems like this last rocket was a bit of a waste. But actually, I'm going to go ahead and launch these and probably lower my thrust. And then I'll... And this will definitely put me where I need to go. Let me go ahead and lower that throttle a little more. There we go. Lower the nose. There we go. Let's crank it up again. Not the most efficient run, but when you have a top-heavy craft like that, it's not the easiest to fly. I could probably rescue Catgy right now. Or Catgy. I need to do 2 more rescues, Catgy and Rosea. I've already done several rescues. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop there. I'm just burning fuel at this point. But I'm going to need to burn a lot to get in this orbit because I don't have enough lateral velocity. Not a whole lot. I knew I was going to need around 1,000. So, yep, here we go. It's going to be about a 1 minute burn. Well, 1 minute and 40, so I better start this burn right away. Whoa, 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 I'm all over the place. There we go. So we let that burn up. Then I can go to my actual moon lander, which should have plenty of fuel. I've got the lights on, but it's not really illuminating much. They're mainly lander lights for in case I have to land on the dark side of Minmus. Oh, yep, I'm out. And now I'm burning on all fumes here. Alright, so good enough for an orbit. Okay, so now we need to get to Minmus. Set as target. Oh, I'm almost there. Sending node, so I need to descend. Add maneuver. Descend, 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 descend. This is probably not the most fuel efficient way to do this. Probably want to do this second, but I'll take the plunge. Alright, 13-second burn. I started that a little late, but that's okay. And 0.3, 0.4 as too much. See if I can fix that here. That's the descending, so I need to ascend a little bit, not much. Minmus is a small moon, you know. I want to make sure I aim for it. I mean, I should definitely encounter its gravity, but no problem. So my fuel is not the greatest, but I should be able to accomplish all of this. Should. Alright, estimated burn. It won't show because it's probably just, I mean, it's 14.3. It's not very long, so I'm going to fast forward and carefully, there we go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and burn a little bit, and there we go. Oh, perfect. Perfect. All right. So where's Minmus? There's Minmus. Now it's a matter of getting to Minmus. How convenient. The periapsis might be in the right place. So, let us see if we can get encounter. Oh gosh, I don't know if I have the fuel for this. Oh, right there. So I might play with this a little bit and see if I can't get a little less delta V required. Like I think about here somewhere. Come on, I know. There you are. Right there. So that might be a good encounter right there. Alright, so 901 delta V. Ooh. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make a return trip. I guess we'll have to find out. Node in 23 seconds. We'll give it a shot. Warping to next maneuver. So I'm going to start burning at about 21, 22 seconds to the node. I gotta do something about all these satellites. The contracts are done. I should be getting rid of them. Alright. Fast forward just a tad. Alright. Alright. This is not good because I kind of need this fuel to land. Thinking I need to rebuild my craft. So I got 50 in there. So I'm about to pretty much just use up all the fuel in my outer tanks, and I'm about to just carry these tanks, these empty tanks. Oh, whoa, 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 too much. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. It's okay, just burn retro. Just a little bit. Alright, that's fine. Perfect. There we go. Whew, that was a waste of fuel. Okay, so I am almost out of fuel on these outer tanks. I have a full tank here, which might be enough to land. The problem is I'm carrying all this extra weight. Oh well. It is what it is. We're going to try it anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and extend the panels, because I do have solar panels. And these are the ones that can retract. So if I ever so need it, I can. Fast forward a little bit so I can get the sun. Ah, there it is. Go to the camera view. Yes, looks beautiful.